Good afternoon, all. Previous lecture, we had discussed a bit gene therapy, and yesterday I told to you that gene therapy is used in SCIDS. The 4 years old girl consists ADA deficiency. So gene therapy can be used in gene therapy is used for cancer, AIDS, Parkinson's disease, etc. Let's see molecular diagnosis. You know that for effective treatment of disease, early diagnosis and understanding its pathophysiology. Pathophysiology means the microorganism which is entered inside our body can affect which organ and how the physiology of our body is affected. Pathology means study of spreading the infection or inflammation in our body through microorganism or through pathogen. So early diagnosis and understanding its pathophysiology is very important. Using conventional method of diagnosis, serum and urine analysis. Serum test was there, serum test is there, and urine analysis, blood analysis. You know that serum means the fluid of the blood fluid portion of our blood without any clotting factors. This is known as serum. Serum is never coagulated, okay, because it lacks of coagulating factors or clotting factors. Early detection is not possible. Recombinant DNA technology, polymerase chain reaction, PCR and ELISA We have discussed this ELISA in 8th chapter. The full form of ELISA is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Here in ELISA, we can find antigen antibody. And you know that ELISA is confirmatory test, but it is very cheap test. ELISA can be done for the AIDS, and for confirmatory test we done the WBT, Western blot test. Are some of the techniques that serve the purpose of early diagnosis. Presence of a pathogen, that is bacteria, virus, etc., is normally suspected only when the pathogen has produced a disease symptom. By this time, the concentration of the pathogen is already very high in the body. By this time, concentration of pathogen is already very high in the body. However, very low concentration of a bacteria or virus at a time when the symptoms of the disease are not yet visible can be detection by amplification of the nucleic acid by PCR. If very less number of copies of virus or bacteria, then there are no any symptoms present in the body. At that time, we perform PCR process. As you know that in 11th standard, by PCR procedure, the small DNA fragment is multiplicated. Can you explain how PCR can detect very low amount of the DNA? Yes, we had already discussed this in 11th chapter. PCR is now routinely used to detect HIV in suspended AIDS patient. Okay, so remember, for confirmatory diagnosis of AIDS, we perform the WBT, and in HIV carrier, that is asymptomatic manner, PCR is done. It is being used to detect mutation in the gene in suspected cancer patients also. Cancer is one type of mutation. Yes, oncogenes are mutagens. Cancer causing genes are mutant genes. So we also detect the mutated gene in cancer case also. It is powerful technique to identify many other genetic disorders. A single-stranded DNA or RNA tagged with radioactive molecule is allowed to hybridize to its complementary DNA in a clone of cell, followed by detections using autoradiography. If we introduce the recombinant DNA in a vector and then in the host cell, then we identify by autoradiography method. The clone having the mutated genes will hence not appear on the photographic film because the probe will not have complementary with mutated genes. So here we have discussed this in DNA fingerprinting technique method. So in DNA fingerprinting, at last point you know that the DNA probe is introduced into the cultural medium. So specific probe is associated with specific DNA fragment only. Remaining fragments are not included in DNA blueprint. ELISA is based on the principle of antigen-antibody interaction. Infection by pathogen can be detected by presence of antigen, protein, glycoproteins, etc., or by detecting the antibodies synthesized against the pathogen. So we identify the particular disease, genetic disorder by different methods. Now, the next topic is transgenic animals. What is transgenic animal? The gene of an animal can be changed by desired character consisting gene. It is actually the gene replacement. The natural gene present in the animal can be replaced by the gene which consists the desired characters. So here some words I want to tell you. This process is known as transgenesis. The genes which are changed known as transgenes, and the animals are produced by this method are known as transgenic animals. Okay, let's see from textbook. Animal that have had their DNA manipulated to possess and express an extra gene, that is foreign gene, is known as transgenic animals. Transgenic rats, rabbits, pigs, sheep, cow and fish have been produced. To identify any effect of the vaccine which is used over human being, before that it was examined on mice as well as rabbit, also pigs for obtaining the meat, sheep for wool, and cow for milk, and fish for meat. Although over 90% of all existing transgenic animals are mice. Please remember, all students, out of the total transgenic animals, 95% animals are mice. Why are these animals being produced? આપણે આવું શું કામ કરવું જોઈએ? How can man benefit from such modification? આ modification થી human being ને શું benefit થશે? Let us try and explore some of the common reasons. Transgenic animals asking 4-mark question, or specifically information is given there point by point, that is also asked separately in 2-mark question. First, normal physiology and development. In any animal, the normal physiological function and normal growth and development occurs in which ways? So we have to examine this. So for examination, we are using the transgenic animals as a model. Transgenic animals can be specifically designed to allow the study of how genes are regulated, how the regulation of gene occurs. To study this, we use transgenic animals and how they affect the normal functions of the body and its development. For example, study of complex factors involved in growth, such as insulin-like growth factor. How the insulin can affect? By introducing the genes from other species that alter the formation of this factor and studying the biological effect that result, information is obtained about the biological role of factor in the body. Second, study of disease. For example, such disease like cancer, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, diabetes, how this disease occurs in the body, that we can examine on the transgenic animals. Many transgenic animals are designed to increase our understanding of how genes contribute to the development of the disease. They are specially made to serve as models for human disease, so that investigation of new treatment for disease is made possible. If we study the pathology of the disease, spreading of the pathogen, the pathway of spreading of the pathogen in the body, then we are able to identify the specific treatment of that particular disease. Similar to this in corona, this was done. How the corona affect the targeted organ. Today, transgenic models exist for many human diseases such as cancer, cystic fibrosis, rheumatoid arthritis and Alzheimer's disease. Cancer. You know that there are so many causes of cancer. Cystic fibrosis is genetic disorder. Rheumatoid arthritis is a skeletal disorder in that inflammation of the joints leads to immobile and freezing in the joints. At last, the joints become stiff. As a result, person is unable to move its parts. Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease can be caused by affect to hippocampus. If you little bit pressurize your mind, then the hippocampus is the part of the limbic system. This hippocampus converts short-term memory to long-term memory. So here in Alzheimer's disease, it is most commonly occurs in aged person. Hippocampus is affected and memory loss occurs. This is the most important one. From this, 2 MCQs are there. Biological products. Medicines required to treat certain human disease can contain biological products, but such products are often expensive to make. Transgenic animals that produce useful biological products can be created by introduction of the protein of DNA which code for particular product, such as, please remember all students, alpha-1 antitrypsin. Alpha-1 antitrypsin is commonly used to treat the emphysema and phenylketonuria. So you know that emphysema is a pulmonary disease in which alveoli lost their elasticity permanently. As a result, gaseous exchange is stopped person cannot obtain the sufficient amount of the oxygen to perform the metabolic process. But here what happened? Gradually all the alveoli are affected. Lungs cannot obtain the sufficient amount of oxygen, leads to lack of oxygen in heart as well as in brain. As a result, here what happened? The heart and brain get damaged and person will definitely die. So emphysema is chronic inflammatory pulmonary disease. So alpha-1 antitrypsin used to treat emphysema. Similar attempts are being made for treatment for phenylketonuria also and cystic fibrosis. Okay. So now next is rosy cow. See, dear all students, please pay attention here. In 1997, the first transgenic cow, that is rosy cow. First transgenic cow is rosy cow. This rosy cow produces the protein-rich milk. So that protein is alpha-lactalbumin. And this alpha-lactalbumin is 2.4 gram per liter. And this highly protein-rich milk can be used to nourish the newborn babies of human. If mother is unable to feed the baby, then the newborn baby can be now kept on the cow's milk. So instead of using the normal cow's milk, there is a usage of the rosy cow milk, because this cow milk is richest in the protein, that is alpha-lactalbumin, the most important one. In 1997, the first transgenic cow, rosy cow, produced human protein enriched milk, 2.4 gram per liter. The milk contained the human alpha-lactalbumin, that protein, and was nutritionally more balanced product for human babies than natural cow milk. Okay, so this is also the most preferable MCQ. Fine. For board exam, GUJCAT as well as NEET exam. Okay, so these two are very important. Alpha-1 antitrypsin. See, alpha-1 antitrypsin used to treat the emphysema as well as rosy cow. These two questions are frequently asked questions in every exam, right? Now, the vaccine safety. Transgenic mice are being developed for use in testing the safety of the vaccine before they are used on human. Before usage of any vaccine on the human being, we can examine the effect of the vaccine on the mice. Underline please. Transgenic mice are being used to test the safety of polio vaccine at first. First of all, the polio vaccine was examined on the human being before it was used on the human being. If successful and found to be reliable, they could replace the use of monkeys to test the safety of batches of the vaccine. If the vaccine is safe for mice, if vaccine is reliable and safe for mice, then we use the monkeys as a model. Fine. So this is the vaccine safety. Chemical safety testing, the last point. This is known as toxicity or safety testing. If any component become toxic, so how the toxic substance can affect the body? So to identify the toxic effect, we use these animals as a model. The procedure is same as that is used for testing the toxicity of drugs. Transgenic animals are made that carry the genes which make them more sensitive to toxic substances than non-transgenic animals. They are then exposed to the toxic substance and the effect studied. So to identify the effect of the toxic substance, we expose the transgenic animals in front of the toxic substance and then we examine the effect of that substance on the animal's body. Toxicity testing in such animals will allow us to obtain result in less time. Within a short period of time, we obtain the effect of the toxic substance by using of this transgenic animals as a model. So this is about the transgenic animals. 4 mark question, and separately topics can be asked in 2 mark also. So I hope you understand this. Thank you very much to all. And in last lecture, in next one, I will explain the ethical issues, biopiracy, and then we'll complete this chapter. So thank you very much to all. See you in next lecture.